Right everyone, I'm back in Oldham. We are here to find the grave of James Yates Md. James Yates Md, and by the way, it's supposed to be an F5, which is this area here, but it's a massive vault with about 8 people in. So I think the record's wrong, and I think it's going to be over there with the rest of the head honchos. So I'm going to see if I can find it. It's 5, so it's going to be across here. If I can't find it, we'll still go to his house and I'll tell you about him. But James Yates was twice Mayor of Oldham, and if you've seen my video on the Oldham Library, sorry, I got misled there. I saw a grave I want to go and look at over there. Yeah, if you see my video on Oldham Library, you'll know who James Yates is. But if you haven't seen it, then I'll tell you the story. Either way, I'll tell you the story. Interestingly enough, see this grave over here? That one right there. That is the grave of Squire Knott, who was probably the most famous photographer Oldham's ever had. And he actually took the famous panoramic photograph of Oldham in 1886, I think it were. Or might have been 1881. I'll check on that. But anyway, that particular photograph, it was actually shows on building Glodick, the houses. It's fabulous. It's very famous, and it's up in the Oldham Gallery. They've got it right across the walkway. This is an interesting fella. We're here to talk about James Yates, but I wanted to show you this grave because I think it's absolutely amazing. It's a fella called Squire Ashton. And Squire, you think like Squire, Squire was an old name for fellas. And he lived on Queen's Road, Alexander Park. And I'm pretty sure, I've looked into Squire before, and I'm pretty sure he were a builder, like a builder's merchant type fella. But he were lauded by the looks of it. And look. And there's a story behind his son, Albert Ashton. I'm going to find out what that story is, and I'm going to feature it for you. But yeah, look, he's even got his own bloody crest. How fabulous is that? Right, come on, let's get over and see if we can find Mr. Yates, because that's what today's video is all about. Still in the trusted Teague, by the way, still there, still got that big walking dent in the door, which I didn't do. I'm actually a reasonably good driver. Oh, you know what? I've just driven over the M1 with 3 crashes on there. I've actually come to Oldham to do this video for you. I mean, I'm also going to nip to my mum's as well. So it's anyway, I'll stop waffling. Let's see if we can find James. Right, well, I can't find the grave on this side either, but I know that it's Chadderton. Watch this now. I'll check in a minute. It'll be bleeding gritty because I'm pretty sure it's Chadderton. But anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to skip the cemetery. I'll show you in another video when I find it. I'll do another cemeteries video. And I think we're going to go to Oldham Library. I want to show you the dedication to him up there. Right everyone, we're at Oldham Library, and I'm going to film from the side today because this is rarely a side of the library that you tend to see, and there's some beautiful architecture, but we're not here to see the architecture. We're not even here to talk about the library as such. We're here to talk about James Yates. So James Yates, Oldhamer, born and bred. He came from a long family, a distinguished family of doctors. Believe they were all doctors. He certainly was a doctor. And he goes down in history as the man who was sued. He goes down in history for many things, but he goes down in history as the man who was sued for liable, like how did they say it? When you libel someone. And what he did is he started a row with the fella who built the library, the architect Thomas Mitchell. Now I've got a video on Thomas Mitchell. He were a bit of a git. I suggest, if you've not seen the video, go and watch it after you've watched this one, because it's quite an interesting story. You know that woman up there? She was erected as a slur. There was a fella, his name, I forget his name, but she's called Lady Summit. Basically, there were a councillor in Oldham in the time when they were saying they were going to build a library for everybody, and this council were like, nah, waste of money, don't want to do it, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, when they ended up building the library, they put a statue of her up there, and it's supposed to represent him, like, get stuff, we did it anyway. Anyway, I'll put the name in. So what happened were, Thomas Mitchell basically got the commission to build a library. He was a Canadian national, but he lived over here in England. In fact, he lives on Queen's Road, you know, outside Alexander Park. Anyhow, I'm loitering here because I want to show you something. But you know what, frig it, I'll show it you now. So this stone here, if you can just about make it out, it says this stone was laid by the worshipful, the Mayor James Yates Esquire MD on the 15th of May 1882. Sorry, I jumped out of camera a bit. On the 15th of May 1882. Now, James Yates lived in Stamford House. I thought, where's Stamford House? Because that sounds familiar. There's a lot of Stamford House bits down in Ashton. Anyway, turns out he had an house on, you know the road that runs up the side of Ulster Estate? I think it's called Lees New Road. I think it's a continuation of it, where it goes into Lees New Road and the other one then goes into Abbey Hills, doesn't it? Anyway, he ended up, well, he had an house there, and in 1888, so 5 years after, sorry, yeah, 5 years after this was built, it was labelled as a hotel, but he lived there. So I don't know if he ran it as an hotel or, I can't see it because they were loaded. When he died, he had £41,000 in the bank, and that was in 1919, so that's a lot of money. But I wanted to show you above this beautiful door. Anyway, I didn't finish. So yeah, basically it was Mayor of Oldham twice over, but the first time he basically oversaw the building of this library as you see in it now, and he basically caused a row with Thomas. Thomas decided to sue him, and then what happened was, oh, I thought that was a dead bird up there then. Yeah, what happened was, Thomas basically sued him. He then cut work again, Thomas, because they said, well, you're a trouble causer. The mayor had to pay him out, I don't know how much, and it were all a big, massive, dirty, disgusting, stinking scandal. But this door here would have been, well, it says it, lecture hall. So you would have got in there and you would have been told about various different things and probably animals from all over the world. And then again over here, someone's left the shop in there, look. Oh, I bet they've had it nicked and then someone's it's tight that. And then you've got the Oldham emblem. The Oldham emblem is all over this library, all over it. Hey, look at that bird up there. Let's have a look at him. You can see I'm parked not very well. So what I think we're going to do now, fly up to Lees Road. Let's go and have a look at Stamford House because it's still up. I don't know if it's a private house. Look at that, it's absolutely bleeding stunning. Look, more Oldham emblems there in the side if it shows with the light. Sometimes it can be dodgy at light on this camera. Yeah, no, it's not having it. Anyhow, we're going to head up to Lees New Road. Let's go and have a look at his house. Right everyone, we're on Lees New Road. That's Ulster Estate over there, and over here we've got these beautiful homes. Now the wealthy, well, the rich and wealthy of Oldham, they all lived here. Well, not all of them. Look here, you've got Lindham House. Sure, I've read about that. Look at that beautiful door. And the house that we've come to see, it looks like it's a residential. So I'm certainly not going to go on to the property. But what I am going to do, actually says Stamford House in the front as well. I'll show you, it's amazing. What I am going to do, I'm going to knock on the door and see if they'll let me film like the front of it openly. They'll probably think I'm an absolute nut job, but I'm going to do it. I don't even know if they're in, to be honest. But yeah, here it is, Stamford House, the home of James Yates, the twice Mayor of Oldham, who was sued by the architect who built Oldham Library, Thomas Mitchell. Now, this house, like I say, in 1888, it was listed as a... Oh, you know what, let's knock on the door. I've knocked on the door, but it doesn't look like anybody's in. So I don't know if there's anybody about, and I don't want to go walking around, though there's a car here, there must be someone here. See if they come to the door. Right, everyone, I don't know if there's anyone in or not, but I'm certainly not going to be rude and start filming. Ah, hello. Right. This fella's just come to the door and I'm not allowed to, I can obviously, they can't stop me from filming. I could film it if I wanted. And obviously we'll film it from the side. We're not going to go any closer than that because, so we're not going to film it now because it's private business and we've not got permission to do so. But anyway, we have seen what we want to see, and that is the beautiful, well, the beautiful house, the beautiful grounds, but of course the whatsamajig. So anyway, across the road, let's just see what else we can show you. Across the road, trying to sort that wind out, there's Ulster Estate. Now, before Ulster Estate was built, my understanding is it was just farmland basically. This is a beauty. Ivy Villa, stunning. That's a gorgeous front door, that, what we've just seen. Yeah, it's all of these obviously were fancy, and then in front of them, what you would have seen from these houses is just loads of fields, isn't it? And then obviously Lee's Village down the road, but not so much anymore. Right, everybody, we're starting today's video off in Barnsley. As you know, that's where I live now. There's a couple of things I wanted to show you. There's a girl down there having a bit of a do. This is an old staircase. I think it's fabulous. And then you've got houses up there. But anyway, this is the thing that I wanted to show you. I'll tell you now, I've just been to Oldham. And I'm going to be dead honest with you. I had the most horrific time. Loads of people driving like idiots. I just seemed to get one after the other. It was just awful. It was really, really awful. And I'm going to be dead honest, I'm just glad I'm back in Barnsley. Don't get me wrong, I love my Oldham and I'm going to be doing my videos, but that was just horrific. Anyway, I want to show you this. Let's change the subject. This here, I've been living in Barnsley now, I think it's 2 weeks. It's not that long. And I saw this and I thought, what the hell is that? So you've got like this trough here. And then you've got here an old water fountain, right? So this is the interesting thing. There's a woman having a fag across the road watching me. So it says here that this trough is a gift of James Mason, MA. MA stands for Master of Arts. And then if you look here on the fountain, there's like a foot wash down there, look. And then the fountain itself. And then this is a gift of Fanny Mason, who I imagine is Mr. Mason's wife. And then when you come on this side, God Save the Queen, AD 87, 1887 that is. And that looks like some sort of sink. Maybe you wash your hands in there or something. But anyway, this road here that you're looking at, this is Sheffield Road. I think it's Sheffield Old Road, I'm not too sure. But I imagine what would have happened a few years ago is people would have come up here. This road, actually, if you go further down there, there's an old... I'm going to walk back to the car. Teague's up there. I've left the bleeding lights on, look. But yeah, this is an old road, and there's actually a milestone down the bottom, and it says 171 miles, I think, to London. So I think probably what would have happened is this is a main road into Barnsley, because Barnsley town centre's just down there. And I imagine what would happen is the coach and the horses and everything would come up this road and they would stop. The people would have drink from the fountain and the horses would drink from the trough. I'm pretty sure I'm probably right with that one. I mean, to be fair, you don't have to be Columbo, do you, to work it out, but so that's that. But anyway, yeah, Oldham was awful today, and I don't know if it's because I'm used to just chilling out round here. I mean, I've only been gone 2 weeks, so it's not as if like, I just don't know what, well, maybe it's just one of those days and I'm tired as well. Just run across the road. So yeah, I decided what I'm going to do. My intention is I'm going to do a video from Oldham on Sunday. But that's only if I go back down on Sunday. We'll have to just see how things pan out. Failing that, I'm going to go to a place not too far from here called Cannon Hall, which is an old... just getting in the Teague. Yeah, it's an old stately home. Someone who watches, if you're watching, I've heard you. I actually went to the car park the other day. I know where I'm going to park. We're going to Cannon Hall. So if I don't do that this weekend, I'll definitely do Cannon Hall next. But we'll see how we go. Anyway, I need to go home and make a big cocktail, throw myself in the shower, and then put my YouTube on. I think I'll watch Shannon Rose tonight. There's a couple of videos. So have a look at Shannon Rose. I like her. And right, on with the video then. I hope you enjoyed today's vid. Right, everyone. The fact is, I've been driven to drink. So today's video is taking a slightly different turn. We're going to start with the what's it called? Tequila. Making a margarita. I don't think you're supposed to make it in the glass, but I am doing. And I've been driven to drink basically because finished work today. You finish work at 4 o'clock on a Friday. Only got a bit of Cointreau left. So say you make a margarita with Cointreau, you put your tequila in, then you put your Cointreau in. I basically just pour in what I want, and then you have to do lime juice. Finished work, been to Oldham, and I thought I'll do a video for you. So obviously it's the video that's coming up. Anyhow, I went and I was driving. I ended up going down to Chadderton. Yeah, I went Chadderton Cemetery, and then just getting a knife and a board. So yeah, I went to Chadderton Cemetery because I was trying to find a grave for the story, you know. And then I came down past Broadway up to Failsworth and then cut through because I was going to my mum's. No, I was going to Oldham to film the other part of the video. Anyhow, it doesn't really matter where we're going. But I was going down Broadway, and you know when you get to the bottom and you turn left and you went up towards Failsworth, and there's like that, near Lady Jane's, a knocking shop. There's like, you've got Tesco, aren't you, on your right, and the mill. Cut this tip for you. Always cut your fruit that way if you're going to grind it, because it's easier. Anyway, now I can't do it. Anyhow, as you're going up towards Lady Jane's, there's the road merges into one, and I don't know if the fella was just not liking the fact that I was going in the same direction and had the right to pull in to merge, or whether he were road raging the fella in front of me. But all of a sudden, all these brakes were slammed on. He was coming up the inside. I wish I'd have filmed it, but obviously you can't be driving, can you? Yeah, he was coming up the inside, nearly smashed my car off the road, and then this other bloke in front started doing all the hand signals outside, calling him an effing this and an effing that, and then he blocked this girl into Morrison's car park, the petrol station. I expected him to get out of the car, but that's alright, because I don't mind a showdown. But he didn't do. Anyway, that were that. And then, I don't know what it were, I just kept encountering nutters all the way, and like I said, I'm not really that bothered, but for today, for some reason, I was bothered. And I just thought, you know what, I can do without all this, because, shut up Alexa, I thought I can do without all this, because I lead up here now in Barnsley, I lead quite a tranquil life. I don't know, probably because I'm a bit of a loner at the moment, innit? Anyway, that was that, and then we did the trip round, we managed to do the video, and the video's coming up. Oh, what do I do now? Yeah, right, so this is your lime juice. I think you could do more than that really, but that's alright. So, let me just show you how we finish it. I'm going to show you how we finish it off. And if anyone's interested, I'm thinking of doing like a cooking stroke cocktail making drink type channel, because I know quite a bit. So anyway, you pour the lime juice in, and that's what it looks like with the lime juice in, but we're not finished yet. Just put the camera back, right? And then, we need some salt. There's friggin' salt, I think I put it away. Yeah, so basically, that is the situation, that's what happened. Right, okay, so now you pour in, you can get this ice from Asda, it's called party ice, and it's all like ground down. So I just take a few bits of that. Goes on the floor, but just pick it up, don't you? Drop that in. So now it's looking like this. Right, these glasses, by the way, I managed to get 2 of them, the pink stemmed cocktail glasses, and I got them from TK Maxx in Oldham. I think they're about a £5 each, but they're well worth it, aren't they? You know, a nice drink to drink out of. Get the edge of a lime, Run it round the glass, just so it's wet and you've got the lime taste. And then you get a bit of salt. Got this tip off Frenzy. The inspector's wife makes the tequila for one at Sergeant's when he comes round. And she goes, well, I'm going to make you a margarita. That's what she says like that. She's hilarious. But funnily enough, the actress that plays her, she ended up dying of alcoholism. She died young. Who was she married to now? She was married to a famous fella and I can't think who it were. You know what, I'll find out and I'll put it in. Anyway, that's how you make a Sarah's UK Graveyard margarita, and that's absolutely what you do when you've been to Oldham and you've been driven mad by the drivers. Don't mind the mess in my kitchen. I've just moved in. This is my tiny little bar over here. And yeah, right, okay, let's get to the video because I bored you enough. I'm surprised you're even still watching.